the latest reported weather, it was a comfortable 27 degrees. Partially cloudy skies with some breezy winds out of the east. Sure hope you enjoy the short flight up with us today. And from all of us here in Fiji, we'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with us. Hope to see you
soon.
We only use the forest to build our own houses. And we collect bark and leaves for our medicine. It is a great provider.
Lemekl Toutou grew up in the rainforest owned by his clan in Lemekl on the Fiji Islands. In its untouched state, it plays an invaluable role in protecting both climate and biodiversity. He and his clan are taking part in a pilot project to protect their rainforest.
The head of the Lemekl landowner families told me they had 3 offers from logging companies trying to obtain licenses. So there is some debate within the association about whether to protect the forest or open it up to commercial use. Not harvesting timber implies a loss of revenue which has to be compensated.
Der kompensiert werden muss.
Another forest and another approach. The villagers of Nakavu have opted for the lucrative commercialization of their forest resources, but they're logging trees both selectively and sustainably. They do what they can to protect the sensitive ecosystem.
One method is called directional felling, which means that you always determine which way the tree is going to fall, so it can be removed without causing excessive damage to the forest.
For some years, Jan-Hendrik Hoffmann has been hoping for international support from the compensation mechanism RED for reducing emissions from deforestation and degradation.
The idea behind RED is that you try to create additional sources of revenue. In this case, carbon credits that give the village additional cash for preserving the forest.
The forest owners of Lemekl discussed the pros and cons of the RED mechanism for over a year. The German Agency for International Cooperation, the GiZ, works with the Fiji Forest Ministry to help protect the Pacific Islands forests from degradation and loss of carbon stock. Lemekl Toutou's clan has also joined in, but they expect something in return.
Part of this pilot project is to determine how international RED funding can be distributed from national levels to forest owners and users who commit to climate protection.
Fiji's forest owners recently received support for planting sandalwood, but it will be at least 15 years before they begin to reap rewards.
We know that the project is it will gonna take some time, but the villagers, the landowners, need something at least for their daily activities and for the living in the village.
Fiji is not the only island state hoping for support in forest and climate protection. The GiZ Project Director has turned down several smaller Pacific nations. Their forested areas are just too tiny to make the RED initiative worthwhile. But all parties agree that as the biggest polluters, the industrialised countries have an obligation to act.
Now, it is a moral and ethical question. You don't have to be told. If you know you're partly responsible for it, you must play a role, and I don't think you need to be told to do that.
Nakavu is poised to start its second sustainable timber harvest. This Daku tree alone is worth some €4,000. For the RED project, forest inventories are carried out to determine the forest's total carbon stock and to calculate the exact number of carbon credits.
RED is a very good concept, and if it fails, I don't think it's going to be because of the projects here, but to a lack of international political consensus, which prevents pledged funding from being paid out. I'd say that's the crucial point.
Lemekl Toutou, the head of the forest owners' clan of Lemekl, can do nothing now but wait and trust that the international community will fund RED, thereby keeping its promise to developing countries such as Fiji.